Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone!
Welcome to Everyone Racers.
It's a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of limit champ
Or lucky track dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussions,
Tips, tricks, as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
And whether it's on the spot,
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough,
and Chrissy,
and Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
we're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
And I'm Tim.
That's straight to you, bro. And I'm mental, and I know I promised a new intro. We still haven't come up with your title. So far, I'm thinking, just wood slinger or lumberjack. I don't know. 'Cause
Well,
on the video intro, like we've all got our little things.
If anyone has a good suggestion, throw it in the
Ooh,
doodly-doos.
there it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
drop it down there in the doodly doo. Obviously we've got Chrissy. She's a producer. Chris is, the architect, and I'm the idiot. So yeah, we have to come up with that one. All right. And we are Everyone Racers. Now, this is a house car episode. It is episode 362, and 362, according to the California Vehicle Code, is the regulation or what defines a house car or a motor vehicle that is designed or altered for human habitation or has a permanently attached camper. It further defines house cars having an axle able to support the camper and cautions that, quote, a house car shall not be deemed a motor truck. And for the definition of motor truck, you are going to have to wait to episode 410, which is going to be in about 3 years.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. Got that one going there. We didn't think this one was going to go to 362. So, Chris, we're just talking about this. Life got a hold of all of us, which is why you're getting this episode a day late. And Chris and Chrissy had stuff come up. I had to work late, which is just out of character for me. Not really a thing I do, but some stuff I had to knock out. And I barely made this one too. I was literally trying to sneak out, hiding my face, holding a clipboard. So it'd be like, hey, could you take care of this one more thing for me? So, I'll talk about what I was working on, but Tim, you also have had an interesting week. What have you been working on?
Well, I was in Maine. I had just gotten there when we'd done the last show. So I was there up until Sunday and got more stuff done for closing up. Got to enjoy the leaf peeping. It was gorgeous up there. Just so pretty. Then I came back in town and had to pick up my enclosed trailer from Jimmy at the Motherfuckers or in Table for One Racing. They borrowed it to go to Road America, and it just took him a long time to get all of his things unpacked and sorted out. So I scooped the trailer up.
And we have all been there. You're sitting there, you're exhausted, race hangover is hit, and you're like, I've got to go unload the RV. I've got to go to unload the truck.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. I'll do it tomorrow when I get home from work, which you don't. But
Yeah. Yep. And even worse was, he had to unload all of his stuff out of it and then reload all of my stuff back in it. So it was a double whammy for him. Poor
brutal.
guy. So I started poking around a little bit. The trailer brakes stopped working on it, and so I'm starting to do a little bit of research on what that could be. Also found that one of the axles on the trailer has got a little bow in it, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Not sure how that happened. There's no witness mark or anything on it, so I don't know how or when, but that's definitely got a little bit of curve in it.
So your trailer now, is it just the axle that's curved, or you got hella flush going on?
It's just the axle's got a little. It's probably half an inch. out of square. So we'll see. I'll probably
get a bottle jack right there where it's bowed.
Yeah. Yeah. Problem is it's bowed up, so I'm gonna have to put it between the trailer floor and the thing, and hopefully I don't blow the floor of the trailer out.
That's
so yeah,
wild.
it's got
Okay.
a little bow up in the center. So, and I was like, I must have hit something, but there is not a scratch on the tube. So I don't know. I don't know what
I would think
happened
a
there.
scratch would, or like if you hit something, it would produce a dent rather than a bow. That is, and I was wondering because I got to drive that BMW at Road America, and I got out of the car and he's like, what do you think of it? I'm like, you could take one jack stand and put it right in the center of that car, and it would just sit there. It is so light and so balanced. That's a really, really great car he's built. I didn't think it'd be heavy enough to bow it the other way. And yeah, maybe it's too light. It's so light, that's what happened. Oh, and it looks like Tim may have frozen. Tim's getting giga-blasted. The forces are conspiring against us for this week's episode. All right. So take 2. Woohoo!
All right, giga-blast engaged.
Holy crap. Good God.
All right. Yeah, well, I also started futzing around a little bit trying to see why the electric brakes aren't working. So I've got to start to dig into that. The pins look fine on the plug. The first thing I want to check is if I can just hook up to power directly, if they will work, and then I'll kind of go troubleshoot from there. I got my shingles vax, the second shingles vax, which knocked me on my butt, but got to do it. I know too many people that have gotten it, and that is not something I'm interested in.
No, yeah. I've had some other people. I remember mine actually kind of slapping me around a little bit a couple years ago. Yeah. That's fun.
So not too bad. So I figured that I got that at 3:00 on Tuesday. So I thought it'd be a good idea Wednesday morning to do a bunch of yard work and fix broken sprinkler heads and all sorts of stuff. So I got to about 11:00, and then I was like, I need to go lay down. I feel terrible. So that kind of for the rest of the day, but that's kind of where we're at. A little garage cleanup, and do some car stuff hopefully next week, which will be fun.
Yeah, that is cool. All right. Where did I go? Okay, so I rebooted my computer and we started having all the interweb issues on this one. So I actually got some projects done. I had a mailbox thing that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I had it built and then I didn't do anything with it. Oh, great. Okay, we're gonna keep just screwing around. Just fucking amateur hour here. Holy crap! All right, I'm watching all my
362
362 episodes. So, right here. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Mental intent. Picture in picture.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's clearly made homemade, but I made this my mailbox, and this is it lighting up at night. And then as I put in the show notes, also this weekend, the local theater, they were doing several, they've been showing all kinds of stuff. So on Saturday night, sweet transvestite wife and I went and saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I was actually impressed at how many young people. They're showing it again on Halloween, which is a Thursday this year. And while we were there, we noticed that on Monday night, they were showing The Lost Boys. Sleep all day, party all night. It is fun to be a vampire. Young Kiefer Sutherland there. It's just one of my favorite movies. And you know what? It holds up, man. So Lost Boys, still a great film. So that was my weekend.
Nice.
Without Chrissy to yell news and notes, we're just gonna say, it's news and notes time.
News and notes time.
There's also that thought too, so we could do that. Now, did you catch the GR Cup this weekend at Indianapolis? No, that's quite all right. Most people didn't. But what you missed is the professional debut of Keanu Reeves as a race car driver. He was at Indianapolis Motor Speedway over the weekend. That's right. The Keanu Reeves from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, among some other minorly successful films. The SpongeBob movie star was one of 32 racers in the Toyota GR Cup this past weekend. And according to Shafiq Najib at Good Morning America, the 60-year-old Lake House actor qualified 31 out of 35 cars, ran as high as 21st before finishing 25th. Now, this was not the lead actor of Chain Reaction's first foray into racing. In 2009, the Feeling Minnesota star won the Long Beach Celebrity Race. Well, of course, we have a link to that in our show notes. And, everybody can bag on him. Oh, he finished almost near the bottom. We've all almost finished near the bottom. He had a spin out. Apparently, put it in the grass, managed to recover, though. So good on him.
That's pretty good. 25th after going loop-de-loop. Not bad.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. So.
Well, Jerry Perez at the Drive tells us about the upcoming USGP. If you remember last year, practice and the event, and the race was, it was plagued with enough track limit violations to rival a CVS receipt.
I love
COTA
that line.
is addressing these issues. COTA's addressing these issues ahead of next weekend's event. First, they slimmed the runoff outside of turns 6, 13, 14, and 15 by 5 feet. That's a lot. Then they covered those runoffs in synthetic turf to remove any advantage of ignoring the white lines. The outside of turn 11, which is the start of the kilometer-long straightaway, it's going to be filled in with fake air quotes. Appears to be gravel encased in the form of resin, which provides the same traction loss as regular gravel, but the track is going to be adding more cameras in strategic places to monitor drivers and keep them in bounds. In addition to these measures, the track will also be freshly resurfaced, so let's hope they do a better job than the crew at Sonoma.
Turns out you do not need to disguise your Audi like a cop car in order to get a new Cannonball record. Gabriel Ionica at Autoblog has a story of 3 new Cannonball run records from one person. Chris Stowell achieved a solo coast-to-coast time of 27 hours and 16 minutes in a 2015 BMW 535. Now, while this is only 9 minutes faster than the previous non-COVID record, it earns him the top spot. Additionally, the auxiliary tank-equipped diesel earned the fastest time for any of the oil burners, as well as the solo record. The attempt was not without issue. He had a full throttle condition that would send the car into limp mode with a fuel injector fault. He was stopped in Oklahoma, but when the ticket printer malfunctioned, they got him a warning. A link to the article on Autoblog as well as to the VinWiki YouTube video is in our show notes.
Well, do you live in Pittsburgh? Do you like cars? Do you hate cancer? Well, the Twisted Impressions Car Club Chrissy interviewed at last year's Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix is having a show this weekend to raise money. A $10 donation at the South Park Wave Pool gets you in the gate this Saturday from 11 to 4. This is a great car club with a lot of different styles, strong family connections, and it's for a really, really good cause. So check it out. There is a link to their Instagram and details in the show notes.
All right. Now, Tim, you found
Speaking
this
of cars.
awesome thing. Yes. So our racing junk wait to die this week. I hadn't either. This is cool.
Yeah, so I found I was just going through all of the different. There wasn't really anything super exciting on any of the road racing cars, so I started futzing around with a couple other things and doing some joy scrolling, and I found a 1979 Blakely Bearcat S1 Roadster. It is a 2-owner car. The original owner, who built it himself, from the Blakely Car Company in Wisconsin. The vehicle is in excellent condition with only 20,000 miles on it. It's got a 1972 2-liter Ford 4-cylinder with a C4 automatic transmission. It's got rack and pinion steering, front disc brakes, Mustang 2 front end, power steering, power brakes, tubular framed chassis, and the interior looks like new, and with no wear in it. Really cool color combo on it. All the lights and gauges work as they should, and you'll probably never see one of these at a car show. So
No,
really
not
cool,
at all.
really cool car. Check it out.
Yeah. All right. So many ways to die in racing junk. They should make that a t-shirt.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to jump on this one because I forgot that we had a rhythm on this one. But Lucky Dog this weekend for upcoming races. They are at Chuckwalla. So they're going to be moving around in the toilet to make sure that the light sensors, don't turn it off while you're in the middle of a poop. There's 43 cars. 18 of those are BMWs. Sober. 15 of those are Miatas. There's one Honda, one Porsche, and the remaining 8 cars, it's Corvette, a 300ZX, a 280ZX, a 240Z,
Corvette magazine,
a 240SX, a Mustang, a Thunderbird, and a Volvo 544 that is not being run in limits. So check out. We're gonna pick on that entry list because it's 8. It's like everything but 10 cars that aren't BMWs and Miatas. But you should still go race Lucky Dog because that is always a good time.
yeah, but don't bring another BMW,
Just don't
please.
bring another BMW. Come on, man. So yeah. All right.
Recent results, son! All right. Well, Champ Car is at Pitt for the Beaver River Grand Prix Saturday, Class F. Winner was MDR Motorsports in their boring Miata. Class D was J3P Racing in their Mustang. They didn't crash into any crowds or anything. Good on them. And for C and the overall, the Saline Ketchup beat the Mustard by 0.2 of a second. The B class was the Money Shift Civic. Hopefully they didn't do that. And A was Turn In Concepts Miata, 1 lap over Continuous Rotation Racing's Miata. That's a mouthful, that name.
Yes. Now, Sunday Class F was won by Boston Winers. Friends of ours. Class D was Eddie Vedder in a Corvette. And C, this time, the Mustard beat the Ketchup by a lap for the Saline Porsche Boxsters. B was Money Shift Civic again. They were 3 laps over the Hurry Racing Neon. And Class A was RMN Racing Miata over the Big Fish Miata by 3 laps.
Pretty good stuff. I love the Ketchup and Mustard crew. Those guys are hysterical.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm like looking at it, and it reminded me of the theme we did when we were condiments that argue. Yeah, and I wonder how much trash goes back and forth with them. Yeah. Go stand in somebody's white Oxford shirt, Mustard. Go ruin a hot dog, Ketchup. Yeah. So.
Well, it's listener feedback time.
All right.
Channeling my inner Chrissy.
Absolutely. Good on you.
Well, it's probably fine on YouTube's said you're going to have to excuse Mental for getting the rental trailer stuck. He was used to towing the Moon trailer, which had 7 feet of ground clearance. True.
Yeah, that moon trailer would have never gotten stuck. Absolutely not. Our buddy Uncle Dave said, Chrissy, I totally feel your pain dealing with contractors at work. Either can't get quotes or they're totally incompetent. Yep.
Paul Wan 2521 said that shifter cable story needs to be retold with Jawas.
If you didn't catch last week's episode, that was Tim and Corey went and stole the shifter cable off of a car that I had just sold to Full Metal Jacket Racing, who had spent their weekend fighting their 2 cars. They were this close I got screwed, and then someone just managed to find a way to screw themselves harder. Oh. Now, Carlman257 said we slept on our emails and got waitlisted for Loudon because next week we're going to talk about the New Hampshire race, and they are not alone. There's a whole bunch of teams that got waitlisted. So, yeah, don't be taking these entries for granted, buddy. Not just you guys on this one. Now, it says any tips on that one. I would just start looking at teams that may not have their car and then say, hey, can I just buy your entry kind of a deal? They said, quote, we fully plan to show up with a car and a ready team regardless. I don't know how far of a drive that is for you, but that may not be the best plan. They may not even let you through the gate because you're not on the list kind of a deal. The paddock and everything gets a little crowded on that one. So I would be in communication with someone on the staff. And yet again, Tim is giga-blasting, and it's all my fault. Oh, wait, okay, Tim's back. All right, excellent.
All right. Are we sure it's your fault? Maybe it's my fault this time.
No, literally, I'm been getting internet in and out all week, and the first time when you giga-blasted, you just like froze, and I went and looked. My router's in the living room and my smart TV was saying not connected to the internet, and my phone was. So I am they're doing some work down the street. I'm 90% sure it's me. Maybe I need to be back on, loudly proclaiming that you're ruining my podcast, Cox Internet. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Cox.
Stupid Cox.
Yeah, I don't know if those guys going to just show up on race weekend is a good idea, but
I really feel like that's a bad idea,
just be fun.
Man.
Just go do test day on Friday and hang out. It's probably a terrible idea, but you never know.
Not doing a test day on Friday because
the first team that blows up.
Exactly, there it is, man. Bring some spray paint because numbers are hard.
Numbers are hard.
Oh.
Well, Tyler Stank said, I don't think trying to lift a car by its tow hook would be a good test. My front tow hook is a flat piece of 3/16 steel plate with a hole cut in it, and I'm pretty certain if you lifted it vertically, it'd bend under the car's weight and mess up my front bumper. It's only meant to handle loads in a horizontal plane. Yes, Tyler, you are accurate. We were... Pagel said it, and I think he was trying to make a point.
And Overzet endorsed it. Overzet was just going to bring an engine hoist and start randomly lifting them up. Oh, now on Facebook, Christy posted a link to their Lotus frame because they got their new Lotus low-cost project, and I am not allowed to buy this frame, but you can, and we have that link in our show notes. It's over on the Grassroots Motorsports board. Check it out. Daniel said, quote, I say hat car, a first-gen Prius on it, and dominate. Now, while that would not be Lemon's race legal, that would be an awesome rally car. Like, why is that Prius so fast?
And Buddha Meyer said, why don't you turn it into a fuel can transport cart or a beach buggy? To which Andrew replied, that's what snowblowers are for, with a pic of his sweet snowblower powered fuel cart.
Which is pretty, it was pretty dope. Check that out on our Facebooks. You can always get a hold of us on all of those social medias. And we'd love to, I say we. Tim and I will interact with you on the social medias. Chrissy on occasion will. I'm not sure Chris even knows he has a Facebook profile because I have asked to be his friend for the last 9 years. And either he really, really hates me or just doesn't go on Facebook ever. But we interact with us on all of the social medias. But you know who is my Facebook friend, and I'm very proud of that fact? Chrissy's mom.
And hi, Chrissy's mom.
Hello,
I'm
Chrissy's
sure
mom.
she's definitely not going to listen to this one.
No, absolutely not. Unless it's sandwiched in between, they're on a road trip and it gets sandwiched in between there. And we understand why you're not listening, but we love you anyway. So thanks for listening. She was our first actual subscriber and listener when we started this thing way back in the day. Now is when we would just, he would channel his inner Chrissy and yell, main topic time. And we kind of don't have one.
No, we definitely don't have one.
Okay, yeah, there's no kind to it. It's 100%. And here's the thing on that one, and you can feel free to blame me, and it probably is my fault on that one. We actually had a really good topic, and we were going to walk through Chris and Chrissy's new Lotus that they've got and talk about their plans and to work for it and what to look for on these cars and have an entire like add lightness bunch of puns and all that kind of stuff. But as we mentioned, everybody's schedules just got completely wonked out. And we wanted to at least, do a show for our regular listeners. There's some people, down in Florida that don't have cable, and I don't see how we're going to make your life any better. But we are thinking about you, and we're glad you're all safe and able to listen to this show. So we just did this one, so we don't have a main topic. So good news, it's going to be short. You only have to listen to me for so long. But
short and sweet.
We do have this concept around the horn, and this is a Jalopnik article that we'll link on this by Erin Marquis over at Jalopnik. And it was, what is a normal car that you absolutely adore? Because we talk a lot, everything from the Sutara SST to 454 El Caminos, Pontiac Solstices, the Neapolitan, which I believe, Tim, you got to drive as a Judge Mobile at at High Plains. So we've got all these oddball cars that we know we love. And just today, the Invisible Burrow, Jan Webb's online comic, posted you put it in one of our chats, and I shared it on my Facebook page. And it's all about when you can't buy a dumb car, you send it to all your friends, because then at least you know where the dumb car is. But we don't talk about our normal cars, our normal, even like, the Miata is probably the closest thing I've had to a normal daily driver since the Volvo wagon. Really. I don't like, and I don't think the Miata is that normal, but it's certainly a lot more pedestrian than the AMG and some of the other dumb stuff I've had before that. But I've got cars that are everywhere that everyone has that I do actually enjoy and I like seeing, and I'll go talk to the owners about. And so yeah, just on the spot, around the horn. What is it, Tim? You got like a regular car you just dig?
I do. I have a 2012 Toyota FJ Cruiser. Every year they did a Trail Team edition, and it was a solid color, and they changed the color every year. 2012 was red. It's like bright red. And I bought that car with 6 miles on it, and I love that thing. It's got 108,000 miles on it right now. And I mean, it goes anywhere you want. It does all the things you need to do. It's got a super tight turning radius. It's got hella blind spots, which sucks about it, but that's really the only thing that I can say is bad about the vehicle. It's just the blind spots are bad, and because the windshield is like Jeep vertical, you catch all sorts of rocks all the time. Yeah, there's Big Red right there.
That's a good looking truck.
So
Vicky wanted an FJ Cruiser. She just didn't want to pay what FJ Cruisers sell for.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous how much money they still go for.
My understanding is they're very competent off-roaders, and that's what you're just saying right now, said it would go anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And supposedly there's a lot of noise out in the automotive world that they are bringing it back. It's going to be a shared badge with the Land Cruiser. So Toyota Land Cruiser FJ, and they haven't released pictures or anything else, but they've hinted that it's going to be that same kind of retro style like that. But super fun car. But the car that I actually had the most fun in, I had a 2008 Subaru Forester, the Turbo. So it's the same drivetrain as the WRX in a 5-speed. And that was such a fun sleeper car. You would go and like pull up next to somebody and just lay it down, and they'd be like, "What the hell is this station wagon doing, taking off like this?" And it was super fun, super fun. It was my first. It was my first non-car vehicle, so it was, a little bigger than a normal sedan. And I've been in the large car market ever since.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
But
yeah.
that was it. Mine was black with a gold metal flake in it. Had yep, there she is. That's
Man.
exactly the car.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exactly the car.
2.5. Nice. Got the hood scoop on it.
Yeah.
I've had Subaru people tell me, because Subarus are basically Legos, that those cars are always, you can basically make it a WRX easily. That's impressive. That's a cool car.
You could straight up STI that thing too. I think they made that in Japan. That was an option to purchase the Forester with the STI badge. But there's been people that have done them, here by themselves, one part at a time, sort of thing. So, but two of my favorites, that's for sure.
That is really cool. Oh yes, here it is. All right, sorry, I'm furiously typing as Tim is talking, and here is the actual. That is a really good looking car. That is what not available in the U.S. OBS, but there it is. Subaru Forester STI.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. That is hella cool. Yeah. So mine, just like the normal car, I loved my Volvo wagon. I still like my Volvo wagon. I don't regret getting rid of it, because the guy that got it loves it, and he got it running again. Every now and again, he sends me a thank you on the anniversary that he bought the 240 from me. So I love Volvo 240 wagons. I always got a bunch of thumbs up in that car. But just like the everyday normal car, could totally have one if I wanted it, could afford it and everything. I really like the Ford Maverick, the truck. And I work with a guy that has one, and I've talked to other people. They're like, "Oh man, it's
The
fantastic."
old rat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the new truck. Neil Losey's got one. He loves it.
See, now that's high praise, because Neil Losey knows and loves weird cars. So
Yep.
that's I always enjoy seeing those, and I like them. They make me happy, and I will always be able to pick out a Volvo 240 wagon in a crowd. I don't, of course, they're boxes. I really enjoyed even racing that one that Tom built for T this year at High Plains Raceway. So there it is. What's a normal everyday car, completely achievable, that you love, even if it's just completely forgotten? For the feature in the article, there was a picture of the Honda Element.
Element.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
not a bad car at all, and people that have their Elements do tend to love them as well, because you could hose off the interior and everything. So yeah.
My uncle had one, and he was a surfer, so he would do that. He would just open the door and get the air compressor and blow all the sand out.
Yeah,
Loved it.
Yeah. And then the other one is but we've waxed poetically about our love of GMT 800 Suburbans. I just always like Suburbans. It's a Swiss Army knife of a car, not good, not exceptional at anything other than carrying a lot of crap and taking up a lot of space, but it can do damn near everything. And every now and again, I find myself during lulls perusing Facebook Marketplace for Suburbans. So, all right.
Yeah, I'm currently perusing Super Duties, so I'm going to be upgrading my truck at some point soon. I got 100,000 miles on that sucker too, so it's time to upgrade. So I think I'm going to go 250 F250 diesel, but we'll see.
It's one of those cry once, cry twice. I've got the 250 with the 5.4, and even just driving it around town, I hate putting gas in it. Luckily, I don't drive it very often. Yeah. The Skinny Coyote Racing, Jerry Ringel, every couple of years gets himself a new 250 or 350 diesel and swears by them, and they have never given him a lick of trouble. So yeah, and I think everyone, Jeff Gates has got that ancient 250 diesel, and John Pagel's got his super dually diesel, and they all rave about how when you put a trailer behind it, it's like it's not even there. So
Yeah. There's one that a Lemons racer is selling in Georgia. It's an older one. I think he's down to like $7,000 he wants for it, and he's done a bunch of work on it. And I hit him up, and it's still tickling the back of my head right there. I'm like, I don't know, man. That might just be my toe pig. So
where in Georgia?
It's on. If you go on the Facebook forums, he's got it posted up there on the forums, and
Okay.
I think he's like 45 minutes outside Atlanta. So
Okay, because I'm going to be in Atlanta next month. Just throwing that out there.
I may have you take a look at it for me. It's getting to that number where it's like it's hard to just not throw the money at it and be like, sure, yeah. So.
All right. So if you've got an F-250 diesel, that's a better deal. Also, get a hold of us and all the doodly-doo. All that good stuff. We apologize for the abbreviated episode, or you're welcome for the abbreviated episode since the two people you want to hear from most are not here, so you don't have to listen to us ramble on for too much terribly longer. But, Tim, do we know what we're talking about next week? And my internet chooses that moment to giga-blast.
Lotusing next week, I would have guessed.
No, yeah. It's rolling up on some of the penultimate races of the season. It is the Halloween Hoopty Fest New Hampshire preview. There'll probably be some Lotus in it.
Oh, it is the New Hampshire preview.
Yeah. So
there'll be some people very excited to listen to it, and some people that didn't pay their dues and got bumped that are going to be less excited to listen
but
to it.
They'll be prepared next year. Absolutely. They'll be prepared next year for it. All right. The best part of that one's probably going to be the potluck because Chrissy's going to be running it. So, go get your potato salad now on that one. And, yeah, Chris, Tim, thank you. Thank you for the patience. Thank you for listeners for fighting through my bad internet. Hopefully we do not have this problem again next week. Tim, you got anything else?
That's it. Go wrench on some stuff and have fun.
Absolutely. Be safe. Take care of yourself, especially if you're in Florida. We look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text pictures of your junk to me at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook under Everyone Racers, and even Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again. Until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless, like us, there is no shiny side, then just keep those wheels down.